Go for it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get fucked up. I'm gonna just stop talking now.
So you played a little bit. We were talking about this a little bit ago, but you played a little bit of Mad Max. You haven't played like a whole lot of it.
I played it for about 10 hours, and then it is just one of those games where you just set it down, and then
you
like
remember it like
vaguely, like very vaguely.
Do you remember the combat being similar to this game?
Yeah, I do recall that. I was looking for stuff on the channel, but I forgot I deleted those videos forever ago. I'm like, these are kind of doing nothing. I'm not going to finish this Let's Play anyways, but you guys might see it here for all you guys now. So if that's something you want to look forward to, don't worry about it because you're going to get it anyways.
What have you been playing?
Ooh, so you wanted to start a podcast now, huh?
I don't know, I'm just curious. I haven't talked to you in a minute. We've been fucking both super busy.
Oh my god, tell me about it.
I know, you're fucking been killing it on your channel and shit.
Dude, right back at you. We've been fucking absolutely crushing it. It does feel like a little...
What have you been... It's a little, like, delayed, huh?
Very slightly. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
No, I feel like it's a little delayed, too. But it's not a big deal. It's whatever. But what have you been playing? Like, obviously, besides, like... Because you've been playing around with, like Tekken and stuff, right? Like, anything, like, single player?
Yes, actually. There's been a...
Get that balloon.
Yep.
Good shit.
That's what I was going for.
On it.
There's been a somewhat lovely single-player game by the name of Liza... Wet. By the name of Liza...
You didn't see that.
Liza P.
Slipped.
Liza P is a Souls-like. I don't know where I'm going or where I'm off to, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you see that blinking thing? The exclamation mark?
Yeah,
I was just going there.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, either one of those. I was just doing side quests.
Okay.
Liza P?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've talked to me a little bit about this, but you're kind of saying that you weren't like really like gassed up on it until recently, right? You said it's starting getting a little better. Like you weren't liking it at first.
Yeah.
You?
Okay. So for those of you that don't know, it's a Souls-like, and what a Souls-like is if you've played Dark Souls, you know exactly what a Souls-like is. It's just games that try to emulate. How do I? There we go.
There you go.
They're just games that try to emulate that Dark Souls like playstyle / feeling.
Soulsborne.
Liza P was one based around like Pinocchio for some reason. Like the world is overtaken by like these weird puppets.
Wait, so are you Pinocchio in that game?
Yes, you are Pinocchio. You even like talk to your creator and stuff. You like save him and shit. And yeah, the combat's very like Souls-like with some exceptions. Like there's just a couple different mechanics. Oh, motherfucker. Holy shit. Fucking asshole.
I found him.
I think I shot him in the ass. There's a bullet in my ass. So initially, the world was just kind of bland. Like, it
just wasn't grabbing you, huh? So what's like the combat? Like lie in your nose, just fucking just attack people with your nose?
So that's based around the decisions that you make, actually. So like, someone will ask you, like, when you first start, is like, oh, like, you came into Hotel Kraut, are you a human? Like, only humans are allowed here. And then you get the choice to lie or tell the truth. And then I lied to get in. And then I think the more that you lie, the more upgrade options that you have further down. I think it makes you more human or something like that.
Yeah.
What is this, by the way?
Okay, so go back down there on that roof.
I think
that you were just on. Oh, well, that's the crime. Yeah, you can stop the crime right there.
Motherfucker.
But go back up on that roof.
Okay.
And you have to like do the cure thing. It's that thing right there on the roof. You see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, that's enough for me. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's some good shit. Oh my god, I think I'm blacking out.
Holy shit, this lean is really hitting.
Not the Henny.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's been a minute.
Yeah, it started out like the basic enemies were kind of bland. The bosses were okay. I was just very uninterested. And then I got a little bit.
Ooh, let's go. Okay.
8.
Okay.
Oh,
let's go.
Take it away.
Where am I? What's going on?
I didn't know that was this.
What a question. Shall I tell him? Oh, he looks so confused. Maybe I should. Well, it's simple, really. I planted a teeny tiny little idea in your head. A sort of remote hypnotic suggestion. Very complicated stuff. I'm sure you wouldn't understand, but as you can see, it worked. You're mine now. You're mine, and there's nothing that Strange can do about it. Oh, are you not going to drink your tea? It's special tea, my special tea.
Marijuana.
Go to hell, Jervis.
Dude, it's segments like this. Oh.
I made you see what you wanted most. What was it? Tell me. Tell me. Oh, tell me.
It's pretty good.
So predictable, just like Alice. Never doing what I want without ludicrous amounts of
Be a
psychoactive
fucking cool
control.
villain for a movie.
Well, if that's
Dude.
what's necessary, it's a
Actually.
good job that you've already taken them. All we need now is a finishing touch. A special new hat.
The aesthetic of him is so fucking cool too. Oh my goodness. Okay.
You're my soldier now, Batman. You will do everything I say.
Like the creepiness factor of this, because it reminds me of Asylum. I just wish like this stuff was more frequent.
The bunny mask. No. I like this stuff because yeah, it definitely reminds me of like the Scarecrow segments or whatever. Like anything that fucks with your perception of reality. This comes across a little bit more, little less like Scarecrow, a little bit more like Ra's al Ghul.
All right, I want to say this. So the reason why I put Asylum above this game isn't because I think Asylum does like all of the, you know, actual combat and gameplay that like better. This game obviously is better in that aspect. I just like the atmosphere and the vibe of that game. Like this is really good and it reminds me of that, but this is just a section of this game that does that. That makes me feel that kind of thing. The whole vibe of Asylum is eerie, creepy, like empty. You know, like it's just like the atmosphere of that game just is unsettling in a way that I feel like is only really captured again in Arkham Knight.
It makes me upset in a way because out of what they've shown with this game and with Arkham Knight, it just makes me feel that they can only do it better if they redid it. With that said, though, Rocksteady has dropped the ball, so maybe I'm not going to put that much faith in them to...
Dude, yeah, just consider them done, dude.
That's a whole conversation in itself. I mean, I considered them done after Arkham Knight anyways, so...
Yeah.
I mean, we just acknowledged 3 good games, and then we just move on with our lives.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, like, they weren't going to produce a game ever again, so... I mean, Origins was Warner Brothers Montreal. There's okay things about Origins, but, you know... Warner Brothers Montreal also produced Gotham Knights, I believe. Yeah, they're throwing a lot at you right now.
Dude, I know. I'm trying to keep
Remember-
talking.
So, yeah, the thing about the United States of America...
You see that Saturday Talk About Blue.
It's so, like... It's games like these that are really hard to play just because there's segments like this that you do have to kind of lock in for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we have it on hard difficulty, right?
We do. So it's easier than Asylum, but I was going to ask you, so do you put Asylum above this?
Yes.
Okay,
100%.
so what's your reasoning?
The main plot of the game is based around something that the player regularly does, which is to counter an attack. If, you know... If Joker didn't get the surprise on you when he gasses you, this game would not happen. And who, in what fucking world does Bruce Wayne get involved with politics, by the way?
What do you mean? Like at the beginning of this game?
Yeah, what fucking universe does that happen? No other iteration, like every other version of Batman, like Bruce Wayne is just the unassuming, like, oh, he's just the rich boy. But like, nice, good
Hank,
shit.
fuck,
Hell
holy
yeah.
shit.
Fuck him up,
What's
dude.
involved with politics? Like, isn't he just basically saying that he like supports or funds the formation of Arkham City? Isn't that basically all he's doing in the beginning of this game, or is he involved more than that?
I feel like he might be involved more than
That section was cool, but once again, I just feel like it was really short, and I actually feel like the Mad Hatter section in Night is better.
Very, very.
So
hard agree.
This is fucking. I mean, that was still cool.
That was-
Don't get me wrong. I think there's a riddle here. Hold on.
It's cool, but it upsets me. Nice.
Yeah. go.
It upsets me with how well they did this little segment of like the game. It just makes me want more of that little segment.
So why? So clarify again. Why do you think Asylum's better than this?
Yes, I 100% agree with you that the atmosphere of the game, like one of my biggest reasons is that it's believable. It feels in world with the animated series of like, oh yeah, this could be an episode of the animated series in a way. The most uncharacteristic thing about Arkham Asylum is the ending when Joker venoms himself.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in my brain that Joker would actually do that. That's a very gamey thing.
Yeah.
In my eyes, Joker would just be like, oh, yeah, you caught me. I'll just do it again next time, and we can just go through this.
Okay, so one thing I will say about this game that I was kind of thinking about too, that I'll give like kudos to. You know how like when you're flying around, you'll hear enemies like just like that. You'll hear them like talking through like your radio comms and stuff. It's really subtle, but it's
right there.
Oh yeah. Wait, can I just interrogate him?
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Dude, imagine being that strong where you could just hold someone up with one arm.
Ready to eat through a straw.
Fuck.
I know. Don't hurt me. Of course not.
Dude, I thought he was
I thought
literally
he did
just
too.
gonna
I was like,
fucking
oh,
drop
shit.
him. Holy shit.
But the radio signal and like hearing people talk is a really subtle way of making it feel more lived in than it actually is. Like it feels like it's populated and that it's breathing. Arkham City's breathing in a way. Like just hearing people talk and be like, oh, the fucking bat, you hear the bat's flying around. Just hearing the little shit like that as you're gliding around makes it feel like there's tons of people below you. If they didn't have that in here, the game would feel a lot more empty than it actually is, you know? But it makes it feel like it's got character in a way.
Think of
So-
Spider-Man in that way, where it's
Right.
just like, okay,
Right.
it's either Peter talking to himself or he gets a call.
Yeah.
Like, visually, I like what this game has going on because, like, of all the neon, it's very poppy. Like, just looking around you, like, you
Yeah,
can see,
like,
like, oh, there's, like, Ivy's place or whatever. Like,
It doesn't feel bland. It feels like there's areas of interest. Like, oh, what the fuck are those, like, riddle, like, those question marks over there? I bet you that's a riddle. Or, you know, like, oh, we should, like, investigate down there. And just, like, it does feel like the points of interest feel separated from each other. It doesn't feel like all just one blanket bland thing, like Arkham Origins, for example. Like,
Yeah.
You and I talked about how this game came out before Arkham Origins,
looks
and this looks
dramatically
better than that. Like, how the fuck did you fuck that up? Like,
And I said this in one of our last episodes, but well, last episodes as far as we're concerned, not you guys.
Yeah.
How this is the same map.
dude, that blows my mind because it does not feel like the same map at all.
No.
Like, it's
Like, I like the grittiness of this, but, like, there's also a livelihood of, like, all the neon and bright lights. And, yeah, like, the fucking people all around and, like, the radio signals. You're 100% right. So, okay, so we've had some time to sit on the games. Like, what wins out? Batman games or Spider-Man games for you?
Batman.
I agree. I think Batman is so much more of, like... I wouldn't say that he's... I would say he's more of an
Spider-Man is
interesting
good,
character.
but the Arkham trilogy
Hates.
is iconic. Okay, like I just feel like the Spider-Man games, they kind of do what Arkham already did before, and they do their own twist on it, and they make it more interesting, and like I guess their way, not more interesting, but they make it interesting in its own way. Arkham is iconic, though. It started that. You know what I mean?
Okay, I
Like,
thought of something
go for it.
when
I got to try to figure out where this guy got fucking killed. The fucking Deadshot victim.
Okay, so you asked me a question.
Oh, there he is.
In a previous video. You're just like, do you think they could do a Superman game? And I just blatantly answered no. Like,
Yeah.
a Superman game is not feasible.
I mean, I don't. You think they can?
Here's where I'm gonna twist it for you.
Okay.
Superman, and in a way, this is kind of
Superman loses his powers. No, I'm just kidding.
so it's like Suicide Squad, but not really. Like, give me a horror game where Superman is the villain. Superman needs to be evil for it to be interesting.
Okay.
If he's just the hero saving the day, like, at best you depower Superman as like, like I'm getting hit by the red sun or whatever, so I'm not as strong as I once was. That's one way to make it interesting, but I don't feel like a way to make a Superman game interesting is by making Superman weaker. I think it's to make you terrified of Superman.
Wait, so you're saying play as Superman,
No.
but he's a bad guy? Like,
No. Superman is the bad guy.
so it's not technically a Superman game. then?
Yes. Like, it could be a Batman trying to take down, like, it could be like an Injustice timeline thing, but it can just be in an Arkham style, or like have it be a horror game where Superman is the antagonist. Because, like, I think of a movie like Brightburn, where it's like evil kid Superman. Like, that's horrifying. That'd be so interesting to see Superman in the context of like the antagonist set up in a horror fashion.
Okay.
Do I think it would work? I don't know. But that's literally the only thing I could think of. Because if you're just playing as like an all-powerful Superman, it's just not gonna hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're kind of right. I did like the idea of what they did with the Superman Returns game.
Yeah, where the city...
Where it's like the city is your health bar. If that, you know, if people get too hurt or injured or whatever, then you lose. It's like, because obviously Superman can't die. I think that's a cool idea, but it's really tough to do, man. Like, I don't know, like...
Yeah, you would have to really, like... Which is funny, because I like Superman, and maybe... I've been listening to, like, a lot of retrospectives around the DC animated universe. And one of the ones that went over was Superman the Animated Series. And I forgot how charming Superman the Animated Series actually is. Like, Superman is an interesting character, and they don't make him feel all-powerful. Like, you've kind of noticed that a bit in Justice League, where, like, you know, it's like, oh, okay, he's not a fucking god level in this show.
Yeah,
Which, thank fuck.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of have to do that in the show. Like, so I don't really knock that, because I'm just like, yeah, you kind of have to, like, somehow immobilize Superman in some way. Because then it just becomes, like, that's the thing about the Justice League, dude, that, like, I don't know, like, I don't think it's a problem, but it's just, there's such a gap in power between all of them and Superman. Like, I guess you could say that about the Avengers, too, with, like, Thor, but, like, Thor's not as powerful as Superman. You know, it's like, it does kind of feel like in some cases with Justice League where it's like, okay, guys, everyone, or it's kind of like Dragon Ball. It's like, everyone has their turn and they get their ass kicked until Goku shows up or until Superman shows up, you know? I feel like it can really get tropey really fast with Justice League. And I'm sure I'm going to get destroyed in the comments for saying that.
It just makes me look forward to you getting further into Justice League. Cause,
I'm
like,
looking forward to it too. I want to be wrong.
Like,
I really do.
You'll see, like, and you've already seen that, like, Justice League right now, out of where Cody's at right now, we've been kind of sparingly watching Justice League just because it's such a big part of my childhood, and very shocked that he actually missed out on that. You said you saw some of it. I believe that, you know.
Yeah, here and there. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Like, I saw an episode here and there.
As soon as season 2 comes around, oh my god, they really find their footing in a big way. Like,
okay, we need to go back.
There's a lot of interesting storylines in Superman the Animated Series as well. One of the biggest being Legion. So one of the biggest threats for Superman, obviously enough, is Darkseid. Darkseid is present in Superman the Animated Series. He shows up, I want to say, 3 times or 2 times, and then I think he also shows up in Justice League. Superman, like, it starts off with this fucking dude that's just, like, wiping out civilizations, like, enslaving places, and he's, like, clad in, like, red and black armor, and he looks crazy and shit.
Yeah.
You find out it's Superman, and like, oh, okay, why is Superman, like, enslaving these people? Why is he helping Darkseid? And you find out that Superman was brainwashed by what is her name? It's like Darkseid's right hand person. Like, he takes like a boom tube, or maybe they kidnap Superman or some shit like that. They brainwash him to be a pawn for Darkseid, and then throughout that, they're getting ready. The government hires Lex Luthor to kill Superman because, like, oh, hey, you defied us. Like, the military is like, oh, we need to take this fucking guy out. So they get like a kryptonite gas. They fucking poison him. Kara also gets like poisoned as well. He threatens Professor Hamilton. Is like, oh, like, help her. Like, and Hamilton like totally does a 180, and like, he used to be on Superman's side, but he steals Kara's DNA, and that comes back in Justice League where he clones Supergirl and then like ages her up, gives her combat training, and that's how Power Girl is made, and then sends her to beat the shit out of Supergirl. And then it ends like that's the end of season 3, by the way.
Sounds like it gets like fucking complicated.
Dude,
like,
it gets crazy. Any episode with Darkseid is a fucking banger.
huh.
It's really good. So it spends like the episode ends where he's talking to Lois. Is like, oh, how will I ever win back these guys' trust? And then Lois is just like, one person at a time. That's all you can do, and they fucking make out and shit. But Justice League is after that. So it makes me curious as to how they kind of get to the point where they're okay with Superman, because at the beginning of Justice League, it's the government talking with Superman is like, oh, hey, like, we're trying to have you be our sole protector. Like, we're taking away the nuclear warheads, and we're putting our complete faith in Superman.
Yeah.
So what kind of happens in between then? I'm curious about that. The gaps never really get filled in. Maybe there's comics about it or something. But I don't know why I started rambling about Justice League, but
Well, no, we were just talking about like it started with us talking about like a Superman game, and then I was just kind of telling you like my issues with the Justice League's like dynamic when it comes to Superman. But I mean, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of that show, and I want there to be like some good ass shit and like good writing. I know there's some good ass shit, so I don't doubt that it's gonna get better. I kind of like told you this, but it kind of reminds me of like the first season so far is more like, all right, let's we're kind of still finding our footing with the characters and the writing of this show. So we're just kind of putting them in like these like episodes and scenarios where it's like a one-off thing where it's like they go to this planet and there's a problem, we fix the problem on the episode. And it reminded me a lot of like the first season of Clone Wars, because that's what it feels like too. It's like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and then obviously Ahsoka shows up, and it's just like, oh, like a Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing where it's like we go to this planet, there's a problem, we fix it, done, and we're in and out. It doesn't actually pick up till like season 2 where it actually feels like, oh shit, like there is some like shit happening plot wise that sets in motion for what happens in the movies. Like, so that's when the shit gets really good, like Darth Maul, all of this stuff. So I'm expecting that for like season 2 of Justice League, where it's like, oh yeah, season 1, there's some cool stuff here and there, but dude, it pops off season 2.
Yeah, season 2 is the pop off, and then Justice League Unlimited. Oh, I want you to pay attention in Justice League, because most of the time they're going to send out like a squadron of characters. So they won't send out the full 7, except for like the first 3 episodes when like the alien invasion, it's establishing the characters in the team. Most of the time it sends like 3 or 4 characters off, and then like, you can just infer that like the other characters are on like a different mission or something. You'll notice it's a big deal when all 7 characters are on the screen, like important shit's happening. So just keep your eyes open for stuff like that.
So is it kind of like we get an episode with just that hero, another episode with just this hero, and then another one like that, and then you get like a big episode where they all come together? Okay, so they do hype up really well.
Absolutely.
Okay, fuck yeah, dude.
It'll
That's
send like for the most part, it sends like 3 or 4 characters together in an episode. But
that's fucking tight. All right,
keep your eyes peeled on that. Some really good shit. You get some good stuff in Superman the animated series. You get like Batman crossovers. You get a crossover episode with the Flash. Of course, the crossover episode with Batman is the best, but you also see Aquaman in Superman the animated series. You see a number of characters, which means it's like setting up for that larger world.
Right.
But yeah, World's Finest, the 3-part with Superman and Batman. And
do you like Justice League more or the Avengers more?
Justice League.
Really? Why?
Absolutely. The anime, like, one, I like the characters more. I think I'm very biased towards... Okay, put it to you like this. Marvel owns the silver screen.
Sure.
They fucking rip. But when it comes to the small screen that we have, the animated shows, DC fucking rips.
I believe that. I guess I just meant like in a general sense, like just everything included. Like, which one do you like more? Would you like the Avengers more and the stories with the Avengers more, or do you like the Justice League more and the stories with the Justice? Because I don't know. Like, I feel like I need to watch more Justice League stuff
You should.
before I like give an opinion, but I really like some of the stuff with the Avengers, dude. Like,
I agree. All the Avengers shit is really good. There's some stuff outside the Avengers,
I
like
just think that Marvel's just in a spot right now
They're
where
really
everyone's
dropping
kind of
the ball.
Yeah, and everyone's kind of sick of it. So like, but I mean, don't forget that Infinity War and Endgame were two of the best films ever to be put on a fucking theater, dude. Like literally some of the most hyped up blockbusters of all time.
absolutely
Like,
S tier. Here's the thing. Oh man. The reason I take DC, one is for, yes, the animated stuff. All the animated stuff is fucking godlike.
Yeah.
Like the continuations you get from the animated series of like just Batman alone. You get Batman, the animated series. You get Batman Beyond. You get Justice League, which builds even more on Batman's character that we've already been establishing in the first place. Fleshes out Superman, brings us new characters, forms this team, makes that team bigger.
yeah.
And then, yes, there's the crossover onto the silver screen, which, you know, they kind of, for the most part, they're, I will say, misses. I haven't seen Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League.
It's okay.
I'm curious.
It's okay.
I'm quietly curious. But I will take the potential of these characters, these animated characters, over what is already there for Marvel. Because there's a lot of potential meat there. Like, have we gotten really shitty Flash movies? Yes, absolutely. But there's a lot of room for the Flash to be really interesting. And how hype we were just talking about the potential of, hey, what if they made a Nightwing series?
I do think there's a couple things that perfect. There's a couple things that I know about with Justice League that I think is really cool. I like the idea that, like, I believe it's Darkseid. He like knows of Bruce and he's like, you're one of the smartest human beings in the universe. I think shit like that's really cool. Like with the Justice League, where it's like you've explained it to me, where it's like out of everybody, like all of them have powers except Bruce, but they don't look at him any lesser because he's just a human. Because he's like the best, like just human that there is, you know? I think that is really fucking cool. But I also think that it might slightly like, because they kind of do that in the Avengers too, where it's like Thanos shows up and he knows about Tony Stark. Tony Stark doesn't have any fucking powers. You know, you got to remember that he's kind of the same way, but Thanos knows of him. It's cooler in Justice League, but still they kind of do. Marvel does their kind of like version of that too. But it is cooler with Justice League because it's fucking Batman, dude.
What's
like,
fucking sick?
Batman's cooler than Iron Man. Sorry.
100%.
He just
100%.
fucking is.
What's cool as fuck is I don't know if this was in like Justice League Dark or something like that. I forget what this was in, but Darkseid fires an Omega Beam at Batman, and Batman dodges it.
Time out real quick. Help me. I don't know what.